What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Your boy just got back home from the game after a long 2-hour drive, and whoa, that was the best game I've ever been to in my entire life. I wish every Dolphins fan could have been there. Jacob, my partner on this channel, is in Seattle currently, and he's watching the Panthers in Seattle game, and I'm like, bro, I wish you were here. I feel bad. Like, as nice as going to Seattle is, and that stadium's probably awesome, I'm like, bro, this atmosphere, this game, this record-setting game. Now, a lot of you guys, you're like, okay, we should have gone for the record. We want the record. I wanted the record. I wanted to kick the field goal too. You can hear it in my voice. I'm like, I'm done. But I wanted the field goal too. But I understand, you want to be show a little bit of class. And if Chris Brooks scored the touchdown, that's a little bit different than, okay, yeah, we're deliberately going for the record here. Like, we're kicking the field goal, and as we're beating you guys by freaking 50. So, yeah, a little bit of class there, and also maybe some good karma going forward, by not piling on the points. Now, we did pile it on, but the last couple touchdowns, they were just rushing. Like, we didn't do anything special. We just ran the ball. Like, yeah, we had that long touchdown to Robbie Chosen Anderson, but that wasn't anything special. That was just, a go route. Like, that wasn't us trying to pile on points. That was just, it was still late in the third quarter. Who cares? Yeah, it was actually funny. So it got to the point where I was watching Red Zone while watching the game, while at the game. And Justin Tucker had just missed a 60-yard field goal to go into overtime, ended up going into overtime against the Colts, and I look up and Devon Achane's on his long run for a touchdown to go up. I believe that one was that the 71 or was that the 63? It was something like, it was just absolutely insane. I'm like, oh my God, like, this is just, what is, I knew that their defense wasn't good outside of Patrick Surtain, but even he did not look good today. Like, guys, it was just not good all around for the Broncos. I mean, yeah, they had that kick return for a touchdown, whoop-de-freaking-do. Guys, the Dolphins, absolutely insane. Now, my instant takeaways finally getting there after 2.5 minutes. This offense, without Waddle, we did this without Waddle, guys. This offense is just unstoppable. There's no one going to stop us. We have a two-headed monster with Mostert and Achane. Achane averaged over 11 yards a carry. And I'm telling you, this guy was not only shifty, not only fast, but he was decisive. One thing that I talked about with Jacob with Savon Ahmed this year, how he's come into his own. He's being decisive with his runs. That is what Achane looked like today. Just so decisive, hitting the holes with speed, and he's breaking tackles. He's not going down easily. Chris Brooks, when he got in there, and he looked slow compared to the rest of the guys that we had on the team. He was out there breaking tackles, making big chunk runs. Like, absolutely insane. I think he had 66 yards on like 4 carries, Chris Brooks. Devon Achane, 18 carries for 203 yards, adding another 40 through the air, or another 30 through the air, and Mostert had 40 through the air. Mostert had 82 yards on the ground. Like, we had over 300 yards rushing. Guys, we set an NFL record with 726 total yards. Tua Tagovailoa had more touchdown passes than incompletions. And can we talk about the no-look shuffle pass? Baby, that was good. And just the little guns. Now, he may get fined for that later, because we saw a couple guys last night get fined with gun celebrations, and so he may get fined for doing this, but who cares? Who cares? This team was on fire today, and we needed this going into the Bills game next week, who the Bills just won 37-3 against the Commanders, who were also 2-0 coming into this week. So, all in all, I mean, we needed that going into that game. We needed, just confidence in our team. We did that without Waddle. When we have Waddle and Ahmed back next week. Now, I know some of y'all are concerned about Connor Williams and Jalen Phillips. The head personal trainer for the Dolphins doesn't seem too concerned. per Joe Shad, per Mike McDaniel. So that is my report on that. Game balls. I mean, let me throw one directly to Javon Holland. 2 forced fumbles. That dude was absolutely insane. Like when we had like just the little peanut punches, like he went for a tackle, got like shoved off a little bit, and he's like, you know what? Boom, fumble. Andrew Van Ginkel recovered one. Kader Kohu recovered the other. Emmanuel Ogbah, interception and a sack on 3rd down to make it 4th and 15. Given that the game was already kind of out of reach when he did those things, but still just absolute monster. Of course, I gotta give it to our boys, Mostert and A-Chain. Those guys just ate it up for us today. People were like, oh yeah, it's easy to play in this offense when you have Tyreek and Waddle. You have the 2 best receivers. You're getting carried by the 2 best receivers in the league. Guess what? We're also being carried by 2 of the best running backs in the league. Don't at me. I don't care. We're not getting JT, and I'm perfectly content with that. I don't care if we get Jonathan Taylor. I don't. After this game, I personally do not care if we get him. I actually prefer that we keep our draft assets and not trade him. The only way I would even trade for Jonathan Taylor right now is if it's Jeff Wilson Jr. and a 2nd round pick, maybe a 3rd and a 4th instead of a 2nd round pick. Like that is like the only way I'm trading for Jonathan Taylor, because you know why? We don't need Jeff Wilson Jr., which is still, would be great to have him back. We don't need Jonathan Taylor. When you have A-Chain and Mostert throughout his career averages over 5 yards per carry. He has the 3rd highest average yards per carry out of anyone in the entire NFL throughout history for everybody that has at least 250 attempts. That is actually insane. Mostert is that dude. Now, we saw he split carries with Devon A-Chain. Will that continue going forward? I don't know. How will Savon Ahmed be put back into this offense once he's healthy? I don't know. How like there's so many weapons to go around. Like Waddle wasn't in this game and we somehow did this. Ahmed wasn't in this game and he was a huge part of our offense the first 2 weeks. Like Tyreek Hill was in like not even relevant for the entire 3rd quarter pretty much. I mean, he had a couple of good catches, but it was already out of reach. It was already out of reach. It was out of reach after the 1st quarter. And we just piled it on and piled it on and piled it on. After Tua left the game, they still had their starters out there. It wasn't like they were playing their bums. They still had their starters out there. With our backups in, we scored over 20 points on them in a quarter. This game was just absolutely insane all around. And I'm way too hyped up about it right now to really even go into so much detail. But the offensive line, Teron Armstead, like, magnificent job. I know some of y'all are concerned about Connor Williams. His groin injury, like I said a little bit earlier, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. They said he could have gone back in if he was needed. Liam Eichenberg, he did okay at center. He had a couple of high snaps, but nothing way over to his head. He didn't have the fumbling issues like we've had with Connor the last couple weeks. So, all in all, it was pretty good. Like there was a couple times where I'm like, okay, if we had Connor in there instead of Liam, this would have been a touchdown, but it's okay. Like it's really not that big of a deal. I think Connor plays next week. I don't think we're in huge trouble yet. We get Waddle back next week, and he's, like he's recovering from that oblique injury now. Hopefully he's fully recovered. He's going to be fully recovered from his concussion, 2 weeks off. I think we're going to be good, guys. Going into Buffalo, we are 2.5 point underdogs. Now, technically speaking, that means we're a 0.5 point favorite because they give 3 points automatically to whoever has home field advantage. So they like us 0.5 point over the Buffalo Bills, technically speaking. I think we're a little bit closer than that. I think at the very least the Dolphins should be +1, and I believe the Dolphins will go into Buffalo and smack them around. Now, their defense played good today. I'll give them that. They had 9 sacks and 4 interceptions on Sam Howell. Cool. How will their offensive line hold up against our offensive line or defensive line? How will their receivers or lack thereof match up against our corners and our DBs who played freaking fantastic today? Eli Apple did not play that much until the fourth quarter, or didn't play at all until the fourth quarter when all the starters were pulled, and then he got a concussion. But like, he wasn't out there, and I was thankful for that. Hopefully he's okay, but and passes concussion protocol, because we could really use the depth regardless. Cam Smith, surprising scratch today, healthy scratch, along with Eric Ezukama, also surprising. And that's just surprising. That's just my take on it. I can't really question it because of how well we did. So I'm going to go ahead and trust our coaches. And I'll do a little bit more digging and a little more analysis for tomorrow. But, bro, are y'all as hyped up as I am right now? Like, I am hyped up. Like, I am like a kid that just raided a candy store. Not in a candy store. I raided that candy store. I ate everything in that candy store. I am on a sugar high right now. Like, I don't even care that my screen's bouncing around. Like, I am so hyped up. So hyped up. I don't even care that tomorrow at work I'm going to have no voice and people will be like, yo, are you sick? Nah, bruh. I was at the Dolphin game last night, man. Y'all, leave it in the comments below. What were your thoughts on this game? I'm going to go in a little bit more depth tomorrow for y'all once I kind of calm down, put my thoughts together, and I'll do a 5 things that we learned. But this is my instant takeaways, and our instant takeaway is that we're the best team in the NFL. No one is stopping us. Undefeated, Levinas, and Super Bowl. Here we come. 1984 rematch, 49ers, Dolphins. I said it here. I said it right now. You're seeing it here first. Dolphins Syndicate, baby. Fins up. Deuces.